Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is gonna be a little different than what I've normally been posting. This video is gonna be kind of more about the mental side of healing. For those of you that don't know me, my name's Erin. Last year I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease, and ever since I've been on a healing journey of just healing the mind, body, and spirit. And so on this channel, I'm kind of documenting that journey and sharing my findings. So recently, I've been struggling with extreme anxiety. I have struggled with anxiety, depression for most of my life, but recently it's kind of been on like a whole nother level, meaning like frequent panic attacks that last kind of like 20 minutes, which is pretty abnormal for me. Typically, anxiety for me is just kind of like negative thought loops. It's really more mental for me typically, but recently it's been more of like a very physical experience. And I know anxiety and IBD kind of go hand in hand sometimes, and it's hard because when I was diagnosed with Crohn's, they kind of were like, we don't really know what causes this. It can be stress, it can be environmental. And so obviously, like, I don't want to have like a lot of anxiety then because it stresses me out and that impacts my digestive system. And I think this is true not only for people with IBD, but also just everyone in general. Our emotions manifest in physical form in our body, and a lot of times for anxiety, that manifests in the gut and the digestive system. So these past couple weeks, I've really been working on things I can do to kind of like master that anxiety and anchor myself in the present, because I feel like whenever I am anchored and grounded in the present, it's a lot easier for me to remain calm and just let the emotions pass. So I am going to share kind of what I've been doing to master my anxiety recently. But first, I also do want to say that I did have to start a new medication for my anxiety. I've been on a medication for it before. I'll share what I have taken and am taking. So I took Lexapro for, I think it was almost 2 years. And I honestly really liked Lexapro. It helped me a lot. The reason I ended up stopping it and coming off of it was because I started to get really depressed. And from what I've heard, this is kind of really abnormal with Lexapro. This doesn't happen a lot to people, but it did for me. So I came off of like all anxiety medication for a year. And then recently, in this past month, is when I've noticed like a spike in my anxiety. And I talked to my doctor, I talked to my siblings, like this was just something that I, thought about for a while and realized, okay, I really do need some extra help right now. And sometimes that's just the way it is for people. And so now I am taking Zoloft. I've heard mixed reviews on Zoloft, but for the most part, a lot of people that I know now that are taking it have really great things to say. And honestly, it's helped me a lot, and I've only been on it for like a week and a half now. So Lexapro, Zoloft, those are kind of my favorites, I guess, for anxiety medication if you do want to consider medication options. Now for more like natural, holistic, and sustainable practices to manage anxiety, these are kind of the things that I have been doing. Exercise. Okay, exercise is a huge one because, as I said before, anxiety and our emotions in general get stored in the body, and they do need like a physical release. And exercise is just like a proven way to work through like anxiety and just heavy emotion. It's a physical form of release. Another one is dancing. And dancing, that's a fun one. I know some people like have fun like exercising sometimes, but exercise, dancing, like just kind of like natural flowing body movement to like release the energy and put the heavy emotions into a physical form of release, that has really been helping me consistently and sustainably kind of get control of my anxiety. Another one that I've really found to be helpful is meditation or hypnosis even. And I'm going to post a couple things below because there have been some really good meditations and hypnosis recordings that I found. So that's a big thing for me. And then the last thing, and this one is kind of more of like a mindset shift to mastering anxiety coupled with IBD, is just being very mindful and intentional about what I'm consuming. So by that, I mean the food and the energy. Like, do I need to distance myself from energies or situations that are causing me extreme anxiety? That's something to consider. And then for the literal and physical part of consumption, there's a practice I learned recently from the Almost 30 podcast. If you haven't heard of that or don't know what that is, I'm going to link it below because they have life-changing content on there. So one of the things is blessing the food that or drinks that we consume. So when you're preparing a meal and you're about to eat it, just saying like out loud or in your head, like, I am nourishing my body with this meal. I'm giving my body healing foods with this meal. This will make my body stronger and more resilient. And just kind of saying that prayer or blessing over your food or drink just like really helps with being intentional about what we're consuming. And also it's a good like mindfulness practice. Water, for example, like we should really be blessing or intentionally speaking things to the water that we're consuming. Or even like showering, I've heard also is like a really good place to like speak an intention to the water. So for example, when I am drinking my water throughout the day, in my head or out loud, you can say, I am healing my body with this water. You can even be like fun with it and be like, I am consuming confidence and boss babe energy with this water. Like it can literally be whatever. And like when you're in the shower, like just speaking your intention and things that you want for yourself, speaking that over the water, because water holds like a lot of energy or is like a really easy way to transfer energy. So when you're speaking like a positive intention or over something you're consuming or something you're running over your body, that can have a very powerful effect, even if it's just mindset wise. We are 70% water. So if you're speaking positive things over the food and the water that you're consuming, I mean, it's just a cycle of good vibes. So If you have any other experiences with anxiety medication or tips to manage anxiety, or any other experiences with like anxiety and IBD, whatever it is, please share below. I'd love to like get more tips out there if you have anything that helps you master your anxiety. And with that being said, that is it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for connecting with me on this channel. I'm really looking forward to building a community of healing, and I'm here to support you in your healing journey. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week. Bye.